Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on the Nomadic Crawl across the southwestern U.S. And I'm waking up here at my campsite. I just can't get over how beautiful it is. There were some things that happened last night that would deter me from ever staying here again. One thing I saw online about this campsite before I came here was that it's an unofficial gun range of sorts, but people said the firing usually happens way out there and around the corner. And when I got here, that's exactly what was going on. There was no gunfire close by. Everything was fine. Well, or so I thought. After winding down for the night, I crawled into my tent, and then that's when things begun. At about 2:30 in the morning, 4 or 5 rounds were fired into the grass right over here. About 20 or so feet from where my tent was, maybe more. But I heard them come into the grass right here, and then I heard the vehicle fly by on this stretch of road. I'll be straight with y'all. I'm from Texas, so guns, they come with the territory. The sound don't really bother me. But that's a little bit different than waking up to 4 or 5 rounds being fired feet from your tent. That's not cool. Not at all. And it would be really great if the story ended there. After that happened and it woke me up, I figured, you know what, I'm going to give it 45 minutes. If I don't hear any more gunshots, I'm going to go back to sleep. I didn't hear any more, and I went back to sleep. But at around 5 a.m., I was awoken to crunching of grass around my campsite, and then I heard a vehicle slowly moving past on the road right here. The vehicle came by and stopped right here by these few rocks. I remember because it was just in my line of sight from the tent around the car. So they stopped right here and just sat there. They did this for about 10 or so minutes, and then they moved on. But about 20 minutes later, they came back and did the same exact thing. I was annoyed by this point, so I honked the horn on my car with my key fob, and they got out of here real fast, which tells me what they were doing was not up to any good. On the outside chance that the collective goal of those people was to tell me that I'm not welcome to camp here, congratulations. I will never, ever camp in this spot again. Thank you. All right. Now that that's out of the way and we've debriefed a little bit, let's make some breakfast and get the heck out of Dodge. Breakfast eaten, all packed up, teeth brushed, deodorant applied. We're ready to roll. God, it is a shame that the experience here was so terrible because this is just beautiful. Minus the power lines. It's just gorgeous. Welcome back to Old Town Santa Fe. We are on our way to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum to go through some artwork because I'm a big Georgia O'Keeffe fan and an art snob, so we'll go ahead and check that out. I did not film in the museum, but it was a fantastic experience to take in all the artwork. It's a minimalist concept with galleries reserved for different periods in her life and career. My favorites have always been her paintings she made after moving to Santa Fe, and they had a wide collection of those. If you enjoy her artwork or just art in general, it's worth checking out. Also make sure you reserve your tickets in advance because they sell out fast. Well, that was very much enjoyable. I loved the artwork in there. They had part of the museum closed off, so which was kind of a bummer, so you couldn't see a lot of the works from New Mexico, but still, it was very beautiful. At long last, I finally found somewhere to charge up my power station here at this park. don't think you're supposed to do it, but there's no lock on this outlet like there are on the other ones, so we're just gonna do it, and I'm gonna sit here and inconspicuously play guitar. Light. Faceless sands of time. All right, everyone, power station's done charging. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I think I found us a good place to camp for tonight. It's a free campground, but it looks like it's a little more established than what we were at, and that'll be a little bit better after yesterday's interesting happenings. I think I found myself another free campsite, and this one's actually a campsite. Actually, you know what? I think I like this one better. I'm just getting the tent set up here, and we are definitely gonna be needing this guy tonight, for sure. Oh, so this is my 0 degree bag that I'd be rocking. I know that this one probably isn't the best, but this is the cheapest reel down one that I could find at the time. I think I paid $170 for this, and it was on sale. And at the time, for how much I need it, it really is just fine. And in all honesty, I've discovered the better route than, unless you're in like serious subarctic or Arctic temperatures, the better route and cheaper route to go is to just get another sleeping bag that's maybe rated for 20 or 30 degrees and stick your 0 degree bag in there, and you're gonna add another 10 degrees of insulation on average. That's what I do. We got it all set up here. Just hanging out. Probably gonna go for a little walk here in just a bit. That this place that I found right here, split second decision to come up here, I think this might be home for a couple days, especially after yesterday's adventures. This has been a great trip, but it's not really, I don't want to say stressful to look for a different campsite each day, but it takes time out of the day that I could spend doing things like I'm doing right now, when I just sit there and somewhere and waste time. I don't want to say waste time because it's not wasting time, but I'll sit somewhere, 30 to 45 minutes on average looking for a campsite, and then if things don't work out, I move on to the next place. So I think I owe myself a little bit of the relaxation of staying somewhere for multiple days, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And what also helps is there are multiple hiking trails that take off from here. There's one that goes to a pretty lake and a meadow, so I think I might do that. But it's just, I owe it to myself a little bit. It's been a great trip, but I'm ready to settle down for a day or two and relax. And I know I've been doing a lot of relaxing on this trip, but I'm talking about a different kind of relaxation. The relaxation I've been on this trip is stop when you get to the end of the day, crack a cold one type of relaxation. I'm looking for a sit in the woods, just enjoy type of relaxation. This area has one of the main things that I missed during my time in Arizona. And although I got my fair share by traveling a decent amount, I still missed having the alpine creeks close by. The mountains or volcanoes of Arizona don't really have those, so it's nice to be able to have one that's flowing right now. I take that back. They do have snowmelt creeks, but they don't run in the summertime. When this starts to boil, I gotta let it boil for a little longer because this water came from the stream. Well, howdy everybody. We find ourselves here in the tent again after a day that definitely got off to a bit of a tumultuous start, but ended up being a good day. And I just have to say I feel much better at this campsite than I did before. Of course, nothing's gonna make you feel more unsafe than, 4 or 5 rounds being fired outside your tent at 2:30 in the morning. So this one is an actual designated campsite. I didn't have to pay for it, which is good. It was free. But so we are here after a good day down in Santa Fe. And I just want to say that I'm glad to be out of the city. I'm not a huge fan of the city, especially ones that I'm not super familiar with, that everyone kind of drives crazy in, but it is what it is. But we had ourselves a good day, and I definitely will trade sub-freezing temperatures at night for the things that happened last night, so down in the desert. So anyway, enough of my rambling. That's gonna do it for me. Lights out.